What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ASAP Automotive channel, and today you better hang on to your pantyhose because we're about to get rowdy with Roxanne, so stay tuned. Alright, so most of you guys are pretty familiar with my car, Roxanne, and she's been down a bit after the wreck. Still working on all the body work and stuff like that, but in the meantime, been doing a bunch of different mods and things I've been wanting to do to the car while I had it down. Had been a bit busy. I've actually got one of my personal trucks in here. We're doing a bunch of stuff too, so typical car guy, a bunch of irons in the fire. But finally, the rest of my exhaust came in for Roxanne. So what this is, and I probably should grab the other piece with the Billy Boat label on it, but so as you guys saw in an earlier video, we did the long tubes, the X-pipe and mid-pipes on this one from LG Motorsports, and I still got to get somebody to come in and do V-bands on it. Part of the reason I've been waiting is I wanted to get this system as well, because we're going to do V-bands for this. So what we're doing today is what's considered basically an axle back system. This kit's from a company called Billy Boat. I've been searching around for years and decided on this quite a while back. So it's got quad 4-inch tips. There's another piece just like this. It'll sit on the other side. You guys will see in a minute. And then there's a piece comes out over here with some mufflers and goes over the axles. It's pretty neat. I didn't actually realize this till I got it here, but it's got perforations in there to help take some of the rasp, like clap, out of it. There's a lot of different exhaust systems out there for these cars. Billy Boat makes a handful of different ones, progressive rate and all this different stuff. I wanted this car to sound like the bowels of hell coming out of the exhaust. This car's coming back with a vengeance, especially after this wreck. Like, I wanted this car to sound angry and mean, but not like garbage, straight pipe, clacking and all that, like some squatty boy truck. So that being said, we've done all the other exhausts, but there's a little bit of a conundrum there. The problem is, I actually like to drive this car, and I actually like to drive this car on tracks. It's a jack of all trades. Drag strip, road course, all that kind of stuff. The problem is, if I leave this rear exhaust on here, I cannot drive this car at the Corvette Motorsports Park, because, thankful of the lowest of low people that build houses next to tracks and complain about the noise. Yes, you people really do suck. You literally are the worst human beings. You're probably not watching this anyways, because you're probably watching some garbage on TV or something. Anyways, get off my soapbox. I can't run this car at the Corvette Motorsports Park with this exhaust because it is too loud. From what I understand, you can't even take a C701 from the factory on that track. The literal Corvette Motorsports track, you can't run that vet on there because it's too loud, because people like to build next to a track. We really are doomed as a society. Anyways, so what my plan is, and you'll see in a little bit here, is we're actually going to do the V-band setup later on down the road. We'll do a whole separate video on that. I've got a guy that's down the road here, does really good welding. We're probably going to see if he can come out and do all this stuff, and we'll do an episode on that. But the idea is to be able to quick change the exhaust, so I can get up there, change out to my stock titanium exhaust, which is still pretty rowdy, as you guys saw in the clip at the very beginning of the video. We're going to shoot another before here, but it's just not enough. But at least it'll make me legal for the track, and I can go out and have fun, because I've driven this car out on that track, and it was amazing. I mean, it was just awesome to be out on the actual Corvette Motorsports track, and there's plenty of others I want to do. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and shoot a real before video on the exhaust, which, like I said, is pretty healthy, I'm not going to lie, especially up in the RPM range. But then we'll go ahead and get started changing this out and see what she really sounds like. So stay tuned. Alright, so got the car up in the air. We got our pucks in here, and anytime you lift one of these C5, C6, or C7s, and the newer C8s, you got to have your pucks in here. Actually, I'm not sure on the C8s. We haven't had one in yet, so I'm not sure on that. But anyways, C6 or C5, C6, and C7 all need these pucks. They go in there like we showed you guys before. Anyway, so it's good and safely lifted. If you'll notice back here, the tip alignment's way off. This is a byproduct of those stupid clamps they've got with that LG system up there. Like I said, we're gonna weld up a bunch of that solid and then do V-bands so the whole unit will drop out as one kind of thing. We'll get to be in another video. But today what we're doing is the rest of the titanium system on this Z06. So we're going to be going right here where we ended off on the other video with the long tubes, mid-pipe, and the X-pipe and all. We're going to go ahead, we got 15s on both sides here. Yours might be a little bit different. you know, if it doesn't have stock or anything, exhaust, yada yada. But we're going to take these loose here and see if we can slide these out past the hangers right up in here. I'm not sure if we might have to drop the hangers out. But we'll go ahead, and this is your whole axle back system. You got driver's side and passenger side. We'll go ahead and get these out, and then we can go ahead and set out our new parts and work on going back together with that stuff. So go ahead and take these bad boys off, if we can get to them. Been a little bit humid here in South Carolina. That's a little bit of water in the exhaust there. Moisture built up. No big. Tells me I just need to run the car a little bit more. Now we're going to see if we can slide past these hangers, and I don't. Yep, looks like we're going to have to drop the sway bar. Okay, no big. Alright, so unfortunately it looks like we're going to have to drop the sway bar on this one to get some more clearance to go ahead and swing it around. It should give us a fair bit. Alright, so we got a 15 on the front here, 18 on the back. Take the other side loose to really drop it down. I was hoping not have to, but it be what it be. Alright, so now we got it loose. We can go ahead and let that swing on down out of the way. And we can work on snaking this up all around the yaw. And look at there. So, it's nice that factory, that is actual titanium from the factory. Nice and light, and actually really good exhaust. Like I said, it didn't sound really half bad with those long tubes and catless X-pipe and mid-pipe and all that. Like, it really sounded throaty. It's just not quite enough for what I want. Pull down on the exhaust a little bit. You can get the back pipe up over the front pipe there. Come forward a little bit and see if we, yeah, let's snake it on out. Now, do the limbo. Snaky. All around, yeah. There we go. So it's actually one of the ways that GM saved weight on these Z06s. That was the whole goal, was to, you know, lighter, faster car. There's no hardly any sound deadening in there, thinner windshield, smaller battery. I think it's a Group 75 instead of 78, stuff like that. All kind of little things they did to shave weight on this to make it a lighter car. All in the namesake of the Z06 heritage of being a factory ready, or race car basically from the factory. So, that being said, now we're going to get out the rest of our parts from the goodie box here that I've already kind of jumped ahead and opened. That's that part you guys saw earlier. Go ahead and get on this side here. Get some box of hardware. So, I apologize, guys, I didn't get a bench cleared off. We are an actual working shop. We do run wide open. We have actually outgrown our location a couple years ago. We're in the process of looking find land to build and everything and do a much bigger shop. Thanks to our amazing customers and you guys. Like, it is unreal. We literally can't get stuff in out here fast enough, so sometimes it gets a little messy in here, but you guys are seeing what we really are. So we're just gonna make do with the room we got. And yeah, that's the pretty piece. That's what I should have pulled out first. I mean, look at that. That is gorgeous. That's made this month. Hell yeah. So, I'm going to pull this stuff off here. Look at that. Big honking 4-inch tips. That is a party right there. You can billy boat exhaust. I was sold on these the first time I saw them, the first time I heard them. And it's just so aggressive and raw sounding. The drone's not, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna suck from what I heard. But I've got that whole sound deadening kit that we're gonna be doing a video on from Vet Nuts. When we replace the whole tub assembly and all that, we'll go in with that. So really help with a lot of that, the drone and everything like that. Make the car a much more pleasurable drive on like a 10-hour drive. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the rest of the stuff unboxed. So these right here are the mufflers bullet mufflers. They're actually, well, you kind of can't really see, but they're basically a straight through design. One of the reasons I like MagnaFlow is they're straight through with resonator packing around in there. I'm not really a fan of baffles and stuff. Not really one of those guys. I mean, they have their place and they sound pretty good, but I just like the straight through design. Me, it's just the best amount of airflow. I know they've studied this and that and yada yada, but at the end of the day, it's just my personal preference, and that's why I like these. So what we got here is, like in this one, will be for the driver's side. This part's going to snake over, as you'll see in a minute, and then stick out here, and then we'll have another piece on the other side, and then that's where these will connect to, just like that. We'll slide in there, and then we'll clamp them down, and then that's probably something once we get it all together. When we go do the V-band stuff, we'll probably weld this up solid, so it'll be just one less point. That, or do a V-band there or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure out what we want to do. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start snaking these on over. Just hang them there. Come back and hang the other one. So now the other one just sneaks up on around like, no. We'll just let those hang there. We'll go ahead and get some of our hardware out of the box to start. We'll just mock those up there. We'll just kind of leave them loose as we hang the rest of it, kind of get everything dialed in. I'm not too worried about getting it perfect today. Like I said, we can't get the rest of the exhaust to hold true because those clamps suck. So, but at least we'll get it hung there and we'll get to hear it. That is the key, the symphony of exhaust. I'm really kind of heartbroken because I really love the way this thing sounded with just the straight headers on it. And everyone else be damned, I don't care, it just sounded good. I wanted to drive that way. But tempted to throw cutouts on it up there, but there's really no room. But I think we're gonna get kind of close with this billy boat. So, all right. So we got our over the axle pipes with the mufflers hanging in here. What we're gonna go ahead and do is actually start back here first, hang these and then attach them, and then we'll attach them here. It's gonna make life a lot easier. Before we do, we're gonna go ahead and lube it up before we stick it on in. It'll help it slide right on in there. You want to go in dry. I never really like that. Slide right in. Now, what we'll do is going to connect we got our clamp on here already. I'm just going to angle it towards the back so I don't really see the bolt and all that. And then let's see if we can actually get this to go in there. There we go. Okay. And we're just going to leave all that loose right now. And we'll go ahead and do the other side. Now, like I've said before, I'm not too concerned about alignment right now because of all the issues we got up there, we got to fix with the clamps and all. So we're going to get it just a little bit close. But one thing you can do is get you a piece of wood across, like on the other ones here, put you like a wood clamp here and a clamp here to line them up, and then you can cinch everything down, and that'll get you nice and lined up. Right now, I'm going to hang that one here. We're going to go ahead and stick this other one in and attach it, and then we'll go ahead and start attaching up there and kind of work on getting it roughly lined up. So now we'll go ahead and get the front attached, and then we can kind of work on tightening things down as we go. We're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to use Dead Man underneath here to kind of help this so we're not fighting it so much. And then we'll work our way back, but you can use like floor jacks or something like that if you're sitting in the garage or something like that. All right, so while we got it loose and mobile, we're gonna go ahead and push these pipes up so we can go ahead and get our sway bar back on. Sneak it on up past right in. Yeah. right, so like I said, we worked our way forward on back. You want to be careful and watch as you go and make sure you got clearance. I think we are going to have a couple issues here. We'll see over time. We got to play with. Like I said, I'm not too worried about alignment right now because of everything up there. With exhaust, you got to work your way from the forward all the way back, fix your issues as you go. Like I said, we'll cover all of that in one whole separate episode where we go to V-band setup, and we'll show you about those and how great they are. Some of the stuff we've done on the Jeep, I don't know, I can't remember if we've gone over those or not on that LS swap. So anyways, it'll make life a lot easier. I'll be able to quick change the axle back to the factory stuff so I can go out to the track. But now, the best part, the part we were waiting on. The part's probably going to piss off my neighbors, but they'll be okay. Just this one time, right? So let's see what she sounds like. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I've been waiting for this day for so long. Just so excited to finally have the rest of the exhaust on the car. It's not been cheap. The Corvette tax is a very real thing, but so worth it. I gotta be honest here a little bit. We try to be honest and transparent with you guys. A little bit quieter than I expected at idle, but I got a feeling it's a lot like the MagnaFlows, especially being that type of muffler, the flow through with the packing around it. I feel like once they burn in, it'll get a bit louder, so that's my hope. Either way, idle's pretty good. I imagine this he's gonna have a bit of drone. It's kind of late tonight, it's just rain. I'm not gonna get on this thing out in the rain with these old tires and get loose. So, but when you get up in that RPM range, like you guys heard, the camera really doesn't do it justice. I mean, it just sounds so good. So happy. And I can only imagine once we start going into the motor, doing heads, cam, all that kind of stuff, really letting this thing breathe on the front end, it'll just get even better with that nice, nasty chop. But in the meantime, I'm very, very happy with the kit. Always my beef with those type of clamps. Never been a fan of them. Always have issues with them slipping. So that's just me. Some people get them to work. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. But other than that, it is a phenomenal product. Billy Boat has done a great job. I think it's awesome. There's exhaust out there for everybody. I wanted something mean and very, just a very just raw kind of power. This is what this whole car is today. Just I want it raw and beastie. So anyways, hope you guys really enjoyed this. I'm really happy. Can't wait to take this thing out tomorrow and really run up down the road a little bit and listen to it. So, but until next time, remember, stock is not an option.